claims a kiss only, said to keep the fields fertile through the winter and into the spring. That must be some kiss. The four girls preened and giggled as Mr. Thorne walked around them, looking them over with a keen eye. Lord Brack took another pull at his ale, the torchlight throwing his features into sharp relief. According to Lord Rottam, it used to be quite a bit more than just a kiss. He gazed into her face, the gleam in his eyes transforming suddenly into hunger. "More?" she squeaked. Heat blasted her face as though she stood too close to the flickering torches. The chilly night became hot as midday. Long ago the Harvest Lord chose his corn maiden as his bride of the fields. After the toasts and celebration ended, the Lord took his bride into the fields, and the two spent the night together in a makeshift bridal tent. The next spring, if the corn maiden was increasing, it was considered an auspicious sign for a good crop, and the two married. And if there was no child? Then no wedding. Oh dear. Elizabeth clutched her glass of ale, her heart beating furiously. How pagan. Aware now of her arm through his, she slipped it out and transferred her glass to that hand. How could the girl's parents allow such a thing? Brack shrugged. It was the custom, Rottam said. Pagan, perhaps. His voice deepened. But it was considered a great honor for the girl to be chosen. He nodded toward the Harvest Lord, busy inspecting a harvest bouquet of stalks of wheat and field flowers, offered by a very pretty dark-haired maiden on the end. The offering was supposed to be the measure by which the girl was judged, and this one certainly showed hers off to best advantage by holding it in front of her ample bosom. Michael Thorne was getting an eyeful of more than flowers. Infectious excitement blazed across the girls' faces. Elizabeth's pulse beat faster as Mr. Thorne bent his tall frame to sniff the bouquet. From the tented look of the man's breeches, he was interested in much more than a kiss. A sheer animal heat seemed to leap from him to the girl, their gazes now locked. The power that emanated from them wafted over Elizabeth, making her want to loosen her spencer to cool her body. Lord, she should never drink Rottam ale again if it made her this fanciful and uncomfortable. Had the display affected Lord Brack? She sneaked a look at her escort. His cheeks had taken on a reddish hue. He stared at the couple as enthralled as she. Too scandalous for their modern time, this pagan performance should be stopped. Yet even in her censure, her gaze inexorably strayed back to the scene unfolding before them inside the ring of torches. "Has the Harvest Lord chosen his corn maiden?" Mr. Smith, the unofficial master of the festival, called from the edge of the circle. "He has," Michael Thorne spoke, his deep bass voice echoing down Elizabeth's spine. The power in that voice had her grabbing Lord Brack's arm once more. She needed an anchor if she was to hear this pronouncement. Lord Brack seemed just as affected as she. Scarcely taking his eyes off the couple, he tossed back the last of his ale, then dropped the thick glass to the ground. His big hand came down and covered hers, heat streaming through her gloves. She wanted to grasp his hand as well, but couldn't think what to do with her own glass. It still contained some ale, which she could not drink, though she loathed to spill it on the ground. It somehow seemed sacrilegious. Still, she wanted more contact with the strong male protection next to her, so she stepped closer toward him, almost leaning against him. He plucked the glass from her hands, swallowed almost half in one gulp, then deliberately poured what remained on the ground around their feet. Protection against the pagan gods, or sacrifice to them? Where had these fanciful notions sprung from all of a sudden? Again, the raw animal power of the moment washed over her, and she grasped his hand, pressing it to his arm. If she got much hotter, she'd likely steam in the cold air. "As the seed goes to the fertile ground, so goes the Harvest Lord to his maiden. Nora Burns." Michael Thorne intoned the ages-old chant, then seized the dark-haired Nora, her face alight with joy and triumph, by the hand and pulled her to him. A jubilant cry went up from the crowd, a wail of lament from the three would-be corn maidens. They scurried out of the circle, arms around each other. Elizabeth's heart thumped.